Under the Trump administration, your government will pay for, or your insurance company will be mandated to pay for, all costs associated with IVF treatment, fertilization for women, IVF treatment.
So, AJ, as an outsider, what are your thoughts on Donald Trump promising free IVF treatment for all American citizens?
Now, before I even start talking about Donald Trump's proposed plans around women's health, I would just very quickly like to talk about media. And as an outsider, I always viewed a lot of the American media networks as very reputed and, to a certain extent, quite honest. But I have been let down. So Donald Trump recently very candidly spoke about fertility treatments such as IVF. He spoke about abortion and basically all the topics that are said to be very controversial, especially when it comes to the Republican Party. It seemed like a progressive thing to do for Donald Trump. However, the media responded to it in such a way. Let's take a look.
Trump is now, he's proposed a policy on IVF. We're going to take that seriously, for real, for real?
So we're going to be paying for that treatment, or we're going to be mandating that the insurance company pay.
A mandate, you say. Mandate, you say, sir. Mandate. So when the children are born, they can die of measles and COVID, but because you can't mandate that. You can't mandate vaccines. We're going to mandate $50,000 IVF treatments.
You can't say this, but I will. Donald Trump's just talking out of his behind on this issue because he knows he's getting his behind whipped on this issue.
American women are just flat calling him out on that and saying we are not going to trust Donald Trump.
For some reason, people seem furious. People seem like they're upset, like they are angry because Donald Trump now supports IVF. Donald Trump says that he supports IVF. He wants people who are not able to conceive naturally. He wants them to undergo IVF treatment if they choose to. Not only that, Donald Trump has said that under his administration, IVF treatments will be free. Either the government will pay for it or he will mandate the private insurance to pay for the IVF treatment. This is truly, in my opinion, revolutionary because it doesn't matter where you live, no matter you live in America, you live in the UK, you live in Australia or India, it does not matter. IVF treatments are expensive. And for the American government to make the treatment free for their women, it's a blessing. And while it all sounds great, the one question that still remains unanswered is, how is Trump gonna do this? How is Trump actually going to make IVF free for all? And while I wish that the media networks were reporting on this, or they were trying to find the answers, ever since Trump announced his plans to make IVF free, the media has been busy criticizing Donald Trump. They have called Trump out for changing his stance on IVF. They have called Trump out for going against his own Christian followers. And the most surprising, MSNBC actually, right after Trump announced his plans, MSNBC played a video footage of Trump from 2016. It is very surprising because NBC tried to use that footage to tell everybody that this is what the true stance of Donald Trump is.
Let me now let you play the reason we should not be taking seriously anything Trump says now about abortion or IVF, which, by the way, far right-wing evangelicals believe is sinful and demonic, okay? Here he is talking about what he thinks should happen to women who get abortion back in the day, 2016, on Hardball.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
2016 was 8 years ago, and a lot can change in 8 years. People can change, the way that they think can change, their opinions can change, and I found it absolutely despicable of MSNBC to use the footage from 8 years ago to tell everybody, no, the Donald Trump that you're seeing today talking positively about IVF, that's fake. The real Donald Trump is from 8 years ago. As an unbiased outsider, I find it absolutely crazy because I have seen politicians change their stance over very controversial topics such as gay marriage. I have seen the likes of Hillary Clinton, I have seen the likes of Joe Biden change their stance on gay marriage over the years. If you don't believe me, let's take a look.
I believe that marriage is not just a bond, but a sacred bond between a man and a woman.
That's why I support marriage for lesbian and gay couples.
I can't believe the American people can't see through this. We already have a law, the Defense of Marriage Act, where we've all voted, not where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman, and states must respect that. Nobody's violated that law. There's been no challenge to that law. Why do we need a constitutional amendment? Marriage is between a man and a woman. What's the game going on here?
I am absolutely comfortable with the fact that men marrying men, women marrying women, and heterosexual men and women marrying men all are entitled to the same exact rights, all the civil rights, all the civil liberties.
And this is not me trying to take shot at Hillary or Joe Biden or the Democratic Party. This is just me trying to share my observation from the past few days, because really, I have been surprised at how badly, how poorly the mainstream media has been covering Trump's IVF announcement. It is brutal. I never realized this before, but I did realize it recently. And it kind of tells me exactly why Donald Trump over the years has called mainstream media fake. It is self-explanatory. Anyways, now moving back to the topic of Donald Trump and women's health. So we already know that Donald Trump plans to make IVF free for everybody, either through the government or mandating the private insurances to make it free for the people. But that is not all. Trump actually wants to support and encourage couples to have children. Trump said that under his administration, and I quote, parents will also deduct major newborn expenses from taxes. And when it comes to the topic of abortion, Trump seems to be more understanding than ever before. In the state of Florida, there is a 6-week period, and within 6 weeks, a woman can receive abortion if she has to. Trump says that 6 weeks is too short.
So I think 6 weeks, you need more time than 6 weeks. I've disagreed with that right from the early primaries. When I heard about it, I disagreed with it. At the same time, the Democrats are radical because the 9 months is just a ridiculous situation. So I'll be voting no for that reason.
Again, people are calling out Trump for going against his party, even when it comes to the topic of abortion. But here is what I feel as an outsider. The Democratic Party, as Trump calls it a lot of times, dangerously liberal. I feel that Trump wants to find a middle ground. He wants to be conservative. He wants to stay true to his roots. He wants to stay true to his values, but he also wants to be respectful of women. He wants to be understanding of their needs, of their health, and he wants to find a common ground. He doesn't want to be as liberal as the Democrats, but he wants to be conservative, but still he is ready to fight the conservative party, that is the Republican Party, to make some changes that he feels are important to be made in this day and age. And I feel that I can somewhat respect that, because he is willing to bend policies, he's willing to bring changes, he's willing to change viewpoints when it comes to matters such as IVF, when it comes to matters such as abortion. And frankly, as an outsider, I feel amazed that topics such as IVF and abortion are still so taboo and are still called controversial in 2024, and that too in America. I feel that Trump has possibly found that sweet spot, and these debates should come to a rest, hopefully by next election, because making IVF free for all is undoubtedly revolutionary, and it's going to make a lot of people happy. And talking about abortion, if you could extend that 6-week limit and make it a little bit longer, to the point where you are understanding of women's health and their needs, but also respectful of human life, I think Trump might have just found a sweet spot. But as an outsider, I can only hope that whoever is elected president, they do whatever is in the best interest of the American women, their health, their safety. That is all I can say as an outsider. Of course, Kamala Harris and the Democrats, we already know, they have always been pro-IVF. They have always been for abortion. They have always been about women's rights, their own decisions. And to talk about their policies when it comes to women's health and reproduction rights, it seems like Kamala Harris will be kicking off a reproductive rights bus tour in the very near future. To get my unbiased outsider opinion on that bus tour and all other things leading to this November, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also be sure to comment down below what you think about Trump's plans to make IVF free, Trump's plan when it comes to abortion and women's rights. Let me know in the comments. I'll be waiting, reading, and writing to all of you. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.